Welcome to Star Bios, the podcast where we delve into the fascinating lives of Hollywood's most iconic stars. And today, we're shining the spotlight on the one and only Rodney Dangerfield, a comedian who effortlessly balanced irreverence with vulnerability, making him a beloved figure in American entertainment. With his signature catchphrase, "I get no respect," Rodney Dangerfield endeared himself to audiences. But behind the wisecracks and comedic genius lay a complex, multifaceted individual, full of contradictions and surprises. Rodney Dangerfield was born Jacob Cohen on November 22, 1921, in Babylon, New York, to Philip and Dottie Cohen, a couple who would instill in him a deep love for entertainment and a strong work ethic. His father, a vaudevillian performer himself, struggled to make ends meet during the Great Depression, often taking Rodney to see comedy acts at the local theater, where the likes of George Burns and Groucho Marx would leave an indelible mark on his young mind. These early exposures to the world of comedy not only shaped Rodney's sense of humor, but also instilled in him a desire to make people laugh, to bring joy to others through his performances. The smell of popcorn and smoke, the sound of laughter and applause, would become synonymous with happiness for Rodney, and he would spend his life chasing that feeling. The Cohen family's frequent relocations, which took them from Babylon to Kew Gardens, Queens, and eventually to the Bronx, meant that Rodney attended several different schools throughout his childhood, making it difficult for him to form lasting relationships or find stability. This peripatetic existence may have contributed to his feelings of insecurity and inadequacy, which he would later channel into his stand-up routines, using humor as a way to cope with the uncertainty and chaos that surrounded him. Growing up in a Jewish household during the 1920s and 30s, Rodney was immersed in the rich cultural heritage of Yiddish humor and storytelling. His mother's family, in particular, was known for their quick wit and clever wordplay, traits that Rodney would inherit and hone throughout his career. The Coens' dinner table was often filled with lively discussions, debates, and jokes, where Rodney's relatives would regale each other with tales of their ancestors' exploits, exaggerating and embellishing stories to comedic effect. This environment fostered a love for language, a sense of playfulness with words, and an appreciation for the art of storytelling that would serve Rodney well in his future career. As a young boy, Rodney was fascinated by the world of entertainment, often sneaking into the local cinema to watch movies and study the comedians on screen. He was particularly drawn to the likes of Charlie Chaplin, Buster Keaton, and the Marx Brothers, whose unique blend of physical comedy and witty banter left him in awe. This early obsession with comedy would eventually lead him to try his hand at performing, but not before he faced numerous setbacks and rejections, which would test his resolve and force him to develop a thick skin. Rodney's early life was marked by a series of defining moments that shaped his character and future path. One such moment came when he began working as a stand-up comedian in the Borscht Belt, a circuit of summer resorts in the Catskill Mountains that catered to Jewish vacationers. It was here, among the majestic mountains and tranquil lakes, that Rodney developed his unique comedic voice, one that blended clever wordplay with self-deprecating humor. The Borscht Belt, with its eclectic mix of comedians, musicians, and performers, provided Rodney with a fertile ground for experimentation and growth, allowing him to refine his craft and develop the confidence he needed to take on the cutthroat world of show business. The struggles he faced, both personally and professionally, would later become fodder for his comedy routines, as he transformed his pain and frustration into laughter and entertainment. With his quick wit, clever observations, and unwavering dedication to his craft, Rodney Dangerfield was poised to take the world of comedy by storm, leaving an indelible mark on American entertainment that would be felt for generations to come. In the resorts and hotels of the Borscht Belt, Rodney would often perform alongside other up-and-coming comedians, including Sid Caesar, Mel Brooks, and Woody Allen. These friendships and rivalries would play a significant role in shaping his comedic style, as he learned from his peers and pushed himself to innovate and experiment with new material. The Borscht Belt was more than just a launching pad for Rodney's career. It was a community, a family of performers who supported and encouraged each other, even as they competed for laughs and attention. As Rodney Dangerfield's career gained momentum in the 1960s, he found himself catapulted into the vibrant world of stand-up comedy, where his unique blend of humor and charisma began to make a lasting impression. The year 1967 marked a significant milestone when he landed his first appearance on the iconic Ed Sullivan Show, a platform that not only introduced him to a broader audience, but also cemented his place among the rising stars of comedy. This pivotal moment led to a flurry of bookings at top-tier nightclubs and resorts, including the illustrious Copacabana in New York City, where he shared the stage with comedy legends like Henny Youngman and Myron Cohen. Performing alongside these veterans of comedy, Rodney honed his craft, developing a signature style that masterfully wove self-deprecating humor with astute observations on everyday life. His routines often meandered through tales of his childhood, marriage, and parenthood, creating a relatable canvas that resonated deeply with audiences from all walks of life. The laughter that filled the rooms where he performed was not just a response to his jokes, but a testament to the connection he forged with each member of the audience, making them feel seen and understood through the lens of humor. One of the most defining moments in Rodney's career came in 1969, when he had the opportunity to open for the incomparable Aretha Franklin at the Westbury Music Fair on Long Island. Despite being a relatively new face in the comedy world at the time, Rodney's performance was met with a standing ovation, an accolade that not only underscored his growing popularity, but also marked him as a talent to watch. The aftermath saw him inundated with offers from top talent agencies and promoters, each eager to represent the man who seemed to have captured the essence of comedy in its purest form. As Rodney's star continued to ascend, so did his confidence on stage. He began to tackle topics that were considered risky at the time, including politics, social justice, and cultural norms, all with his trademark irreverence that left audiences in stitches without alienating them. This fearless approach to comedy was a hallmark of his career, demonstrating an uncanny ability to find humor in even the most sensitive subjects without losing sight of respect and empathy. The early 1970s saw Rodney become a staple on popular television shows such as The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson and The Mike Douglas Show. These appearances not only broadened his reach, but also showcased his quick wit and charming personality, traits that endeared him to audiences and hosts alike. His catchphrase, "I get no respect," became an anthem of sorts, symbolizing the underdog spirit that many could identify with. The signature raspberries he would blow to punctuate his jokes added a layer of physical comedy, making his performances visually as engaging as they were hilarious. Rodney's relationships with his contemporaries played a pivotal role in shaping his career and personal life. His friendship with comedians like Joan Rivers, who often opened for him at his shows, and Don Rickles, with whom he would engage in playful roasts, speaks to the camaraderie that existed among comedians of that era. These interactions were not merely professional. They represented a bond forged through shared experiences, mutual respect, and an understanding of the unique challenges and triumphs that came with making people laugh for a living. As Rodney recalled, Don would always introduce me as the funniest man in the world, and then proceed to roast me mercilessly. It was all in good fun, of course. This dynamic, filled with jests and jabs, belied a deeper appreciation for one another's craft. It fostered an environment where comedians felt encouraged to experiment, push boundaries, and innovate, knowing they had a supportive community behind them. The 1970s were also a period of immense creative output for Rodney, who began focusing more intently on writing and producing his own material. He released several comedy albums, including What Am the First Doing in New Jersey and No Respect, which featured many of his classic routines and became benchmarks of American comedy. In reflecting on his approach to humor, Rodney noted, "I've always believed that the key to great comedy is to find the humor in everyday life, the mundane, the ridiculous, and the absurd." This philosophy not only guided his own work but also influenced a generation of comedians who followed in his footsteps. Rodney's transition into film and television was as seamless as it was successful. His appearance alongside Burt Reynolds and Dom DeLuise in the 1980 comedy classic The Cannonball Run marked a significant milestone, showcasing his ability to translate his comedic genius to the big screen. The film's massive box office success cemented his status as a major Hollywood player, paving the way for starring roles in other iconic films like Caddyshack and Back to School. These movies not only solidified Rodney's reputation as one of America's greatest comedians, but also demonstrated his versatility and appeal across different genres. Throughout the 1980s, Rodney continued to tour, perform, and push the boundaries of comedy. He became renowned for his unique ability to connect with audiences from diverse backgrounds, using humor as a universal language that could bridge cultural and social divides. In his own words, "Comedy is a powerful tool. It can bring people together, make them laugh, and for a moment forget their troubles." This belief in the transformative power of comedy drove him, even as he reached the pinnacle of success. As Rodney Dangerfield's career continued to flourish into the 1990s, he remained a staple in both film and television, appearing in projects such as Ladybugs, where he played the lovable but bumbling coach of an all-girls soccer team, and making numerous guest appearances on popular sitcoms like The Simpsons and Home Improvement. His ability to poke fun at himself and find humor in everyday life kept audiences laughing, solidifying his position as one of America's most beloved comedians. In reflecting on his enduring appeal, Rodney once said, "I think the reason I've been able to stay in this business so long is because I've always been willing to make fun of myself. People can relate to that." This self-deprecating humor was a hallmark of his act, and it allowed him to connect with audiences from all walks of life. One notable example of Rodney's ability to find humor in everyday life was his iconic stand-up routine about getting no respect. He would often joke about being disrespected by everyone from his wife to the hotel clerk, and his relatable complaints resonated deeply with audiences. This routine, which became a signature part of his act, showcased his unique ability to take mundane experiences and turn them into hilarious, laugh-out-loud moments. In addition to his performances, Rodney also became known for his philanthropic efforts, particularly in the area of children's charities. He worked closely with organizations such as the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation and the Starlight Children's Foundation, using his platform to raise awareness and funds for these important causes. His generosity and kindness extended beyond his public persona, as those who knew him personally often spoke of his warm and caring nature. For instance, he would often visit children's hospitals, bringing joy and laughter to young patients and their families. These visits not only brought happiness to those in need, but also highlighted Rodney's compassionate side, demonstrating that his kindness was genuine and far-reaching. As Rodney entered his later years, he continued to perform and make appearances, albeit at a slower pace. He released his final comedy album, What Am the First Doing in New Jersey? Part 2, in 2004, which featured many of his classic routines and proved that even in his 80s, he still had the ability to make audiences laugh. The album was a testament to his enduring legacy, and a reminder that, even after decades in the business, he remained a master of his craft. In recognition of his contributions to the world of comedy, Rodney was awarded a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2000, a testament to his impact on the entertainment industry. Rodney's star-studded career was not without its challenges, however. He faced numerous health issues, including heart problems and back pain, which forced him to slow down and reassess his priorities. Despite these setbacks, he continued to perform, using his humor as a way to cope with his struggles. His resilience and determination inspired countless fans, who saw in him a role model for living life to the fullest, even in the face of adversity. Rodney Dangerfield passed away on October 5, 2004, at the age of 82, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire and entertain new generations of comedians and fans alike. His impact on the world of comedy is immeasurable, as he paved the way for countless other performers with his unique style and irreverent humor. As Joan Rivers once said of her friend and fellow comedian, Rodney was a true original. There will never be another like him. This sentiment is echoed by many in the entertainment industry, who recognize Rodney's influence on their own careers and the broader landscape of comedy. Today, Rodney Dangerfield is remembered as one of the greatest comedians of all time, a man who brought joy and laughter to millions through his performances and philanthropic efforts. His legacy extends far beyond his own body of work, as he influenced a generation of comedians and continues to inspire new performers with his unique style and approach to humor. In reflecting on Rodney's life and legacy, it is evident that he was a complex and multifaceted individual, a true original who defied categorization. He was a master of his craft, a devoted philanthropist, and a kind and generous soul who touched the lives of countless people through his work. His ability to balance humor and heart, to find laughter in even the most mundane experiences, and to use his platform for good, has inspired countless fans and fellow comedians. Many contemporary comedians, including Jim Carrey and Chris Rock, have cited Rodney as a major influence on their own work. His irreverent style and self-deprecating humor have become a staple of modern comedy, and his philanthropic efforts continue to inspire comedians to use their platforms for good. That's all for today's Star Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Casey Gold reminding you to keep shooting for the stars.